Unit 1 Chemistry, Chapter 7, Acids and Bases, Part 1. So today we're going to be starting Chapter 7. It's our final chapter of chemistry. You will not have a quiz for Chapter 7. However, there are two small assignments that you're going to complete in order for the assessments for Chapter 7. So we're going to start with properties, names, and formulas of acids and bases. So Chapter 7, the topic is acids and bases. So you have been exposed to some names of acids, maybe in grade 9. We have looked at some acids definitely in chapter 6. So now what we're going to do is talk about the properties of acids. So these properties of acids over here, so these are some physical properties and some are chemical properties. So the first one is acids react with metals and carbonates. So reactivity of acid is a chemical property. So when an acid encounters or reacts with a metal, a reaction will occur, or a carbonate. So if you've ever done, and you probably did this in elementary school, where you've had baking soda and vinegar, vinegar is an acid, and baking soda or sodium bicarbonate is a carbonate, and what it does is it causes carbon dioxide to form. It's called a neutralization reaction. Acids can conduct electricity, so acids allow electrons to flow through it, so that's what can conduct electricity means. Acids turn blue litmus paper red. I will be showing you a demonstration of blue litmus paper. So litmus paper is an indicator, and an indicator is something that changes color in the presence of a substance. So if you take blue litmus paper and you dip it into an acid, the blue litmus paper turns red. Acids have the property where they can neutralize a base, which is another type of chemical. And in terms of their taste, properties of acids, acids would have a sour taste. So you have acids at home, like vinegar as an acid, lemon juice is acidic as well, and that's why it has that sour taste. When acids react with metals, they produce a gas called hydrogen. So this reaction shows hydrochloric acid reacting with zinc metal. So we can tell that zinc is a metal because it's on the left side of the periodic table. And during this reaction, what happens is, this is a single displacement reaction. You can see that because we've got a compound and an element. So what happens is the zinc and the hydrogen switch places so that we form hydrogen gas and this other compound called zinc chloride. So this is something that always happens with acids that are binary like this, hydrogen and chlorine. When you take an acid and you react it with a carbonate, we also learned this towards the end of chapter 6, what you will produce is carbon dioxide gas. So I referenced this type of reaction a couple minutes ago with the vinegar and baking soda, how it produces gas bubbles. So the gas bubbles that are produced are carbon dioxide. So this example, we've got hydrochloric acid reacting with sodium bicarbonate. So carbonate is that CO3 molecule right there. When this reacts, because this is an acid and a base, we're going to make water, an ionic compound, sodium chloride, as well as carbon dioxide gas. So electrical conductivity occurs when ions are present. So in an acid, we do have ions being formed, so hydrogen ions and chlorine ions. So the ions that are formed are going to allow the electricity to move through that liquid. And in terms of chemical formulas, the general pattern with acids is that you're going to see two things. You're going to see this letter H, which stands for hydrogen, and you're going to see the state symbol aqueous, which means water has been added. So for example, HFAQ is hydrofluoric acid. So there's two types of acids that we're going to learn about in terms of naming. So the first are called binary acids. So a binary acid means that it contains two elements. So we know that one of the elements has to be hydrogen, and then there's one other element there. So if you remember from chapter 5, the prefix bi means two. So binary acids contain two elements. Oxy acids, it's easy to remember that one too. They are acids that contain oxygen in them, and they are related to polyatomic ions. So I'll go over this chart first. So we've got HBr, so that's called hydrobromic acid. H2S, hydrosulfuric acid. HCl, hydrochloric acid. On the other side of the chart, we've got some oxy acids. So the first one is called acetic acid. So acetic acid is the scientific name for vinegar. Carbonic acid, so you see the polyatomic ion carbonate. So what we've done is we're just adding hydrogen to it to make it an acid. And phosphoric acid, again, you'll see that phosphoric acid comes from the polyatomic ion phosphate. So we're just adding hydrogen to it in order to make it an acid.